I did not invent the button.
Well,
If we made an insulated...
We're staying at the Grove or something.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
The pictures looked nice.
I really like zippers.
I have no business trying a V10, but I want to see if it's actually going to rip my pants.
We never get to use those zippers.
Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for joining us for another episode in our Behind the Brand series today. We're in the Seattle, Washington area, and we're gonna be checking out a company that's got 43 years experience making technical, high quality outerwear and gear, and they're really excited about their newly released mountain bike line. And that brand is Outdoor Research. One of the cool things about Outdoor Research is they research things for the outdoors inside. Is that too high to jump from? Oh God. Hey, what's up, Chris?
What's up, Drew? Thanks for coming, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, welcome to Outdoor Research.
Thanks for having us, man. Excited to check it out.
Good. This is our Soto, Seattle store. This is our first retail location.
Okay.
Second one is actually down in South Seattle. If you guys ever want to check it out, big sales going on right now. But that's not why you're here today.
Okay.
We're gonna go see how the sausage is made. Maybe some new bike stuff.
Okay.
Maybe some military stuff.
I'm excited. We'll check it out.
Kind of like, this is the part of OR not a lot of people get to see, so it's very much like your grandparents' basement down here. Lots of history, as we would say. So one of the cool parts about Outdoor Research is the fact that we've been making gear for the U.S. military for about 30 years. And in order to do that, you have to produce that gear inside the U.S. to be very compliant.
Okay.
And the really great thing about that is that we are testing this gear to work perfectly in the harshest conditions. Obviously, when we have troops overseas, this stuff needs to work perfectly.
Right.
And it's such a foundation for Outdoor Research to do that.
Okay. So then the stuff, after it's tested and durability verified, right, in that application, I imagine they wouldn't come back to you if it wasn't holding up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That stuff probably then trickles down into consumer goods?
Absolutely. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff that we developed for the military, especially in that time frame, that 20 to 30 years, is some of the same materials, some of the same strategies, some of the same styles of stitching is what we still use today.
Awesome.
Yeah. So a good example of learning something on the military side and applying it to the outdoor product that we make today would be, how we develop this flexible Gore-Tex fabric. It's called Gore-Topo.
Okay.
And this is an older military piece, probably 5 or 6 years old, but you can still see the same material on like the top level ski outerwear today.
Really?
And it allows full waterproof but flex as well. And it's definitely one of the things that makes that jacket special.
Right on. Very cool.
Going from upstairs and seeing kind of how the stuff is made on the line, which is again one of the coolest parts about OR to me. Yeah. I thought we'd go chat with Kylene and Greta, and they're the two that really take what we can learn in the factory and producing those products and kind of bring that bike collection to life.
What are, I guess, your favorite things about working here? What gets you the most excited?
I think for me, it's the problem-solving aspect is really exciting. So we are end user focused, so we work with the athletes we're serving. We do that out of the gate. Kylene helps us, organize focus groups around product, and then, we go out into the wild with our athletes, with each other, and wear test things internally and start to really substantiate the ideas. So it's not just me doing a sketch and handing it off to somebody. It's, really thinking through the problem in advance and then sort of starting to put it through all the product building channels.
Could you tell me what a focus group is for you guys? Like how do you do that, and where do you put them together and get that info?
Yeah, we usually gather, we try to gather people from outside the company, so we have a pretty unbiased view of what people actually need and how they're using gear. And then we like to see, what other sports they do. So we know a lot of people in the outdoor world aren't just a mountain biker, they're often also skiing in the winter, they might be trail runners for fitness or for fun, or they're hiking with their families on the weekend. So it's, how are you using gear for the specific sport, but what other things do you touch that you want to keep in your kit that are maybe crossing over or have other kinds of utility. So we ask a lot of questions and we do some internal focus groups too with people on the team and our athletes.
How do you guys find the focus groups? How do you assemble them?
Just people within the industry, if they have friends of friends, I would find. And then with the mountain bike collection, we reached out to our customers via our website. So we did like a survey
Okay.
to find out like what are those sports that our customers are doing.
So what would say be like one of the biggest things that surprised you? And I know maybe we're a little early because the mountain bike line has not fully been absorbed and into, you know, mainstream culture yet, but just in talking and dealing with mountain bikers, athletes, etc., like what's something that surprised you or might be different than you were expecting or compared to other outdoor athletes you work with?
In mountain bike particular, can be super focused on, you know, features, looking cool, big logos maybe. I don't know, maybe that's my impression from it, right? And so what we tried to do was like really dial in those features, which, you know, Greta was super, you know, particular on making sure like the phone fit in the pocket, just the right angle when you're on the bike. But then also fit was like a huge impetus for us for building this line within mountain bike as well, because we wanted to make sure that you had something that fit for that purpose.
I gotta say, I've been wearing the pants a little bit, and it fits my phone perfectly. Like I even have like a little bit of an oversized case, you know, because I am brutal on electronics, and it fits in there perfectly.
That makes me really happy because we spent a lot of proto rounds getting that placement right.
This is our archive room where we have a lot of our old gear that we're holding on to for old time's sake.
Look at these shorts. They are perfect for rollerblading in. Now, are you guys always trying to collect and look for more?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Are you like on eBay or were you?
You know, what's funny enough, our customer service team, they get folks that reach out all the time, saying like, I got an old hat, I got old gaiters, and you know, ask them about our warranty program. And every now and then we'll ask for those folks. You know, we'll give them a new pair of gaiters, and we'll just ask for their old gaiters. So.
All right. Well, any of you hoarders out there, if you got some old OR gear, reach out. They might put it here in the growing museum.
This is the third floor.
Okay.
So this is where all the product development, product design, materials, everyone that oversees all the different lines that we have, all happens in here.
Okay.
We're gonna go chat with Charity Fox. She's one of our senior developers and designers.
Okay.
And she's in here in kind of the lab where we do a lot of our material testing, putting prototypes together. Just a lot of fun stuff going on in here.
All right. Come on in. What, I guess, are some of your primary functions and things that you do here?
Yeah, so I'm the senior outerwear designer and developer, so I sketch new designs for future outerwear styles and work on developing them with the factories and fitting them with the fit models. So we get to work with the color team and color the line, go to the factories in Asia, see samples, talk to athletes, see if we're meeting their needs, what other things they like or don't like about the products we're building.
Were you in the fashion industry? Were you trained formally in this sort of stuff? Where did you come from before here?
I've always worked in outerwear.
Okay.
So I went to fashion design school focusing on outdoor wear.
Okay.
Which I was the only one in my program doing that. Everyone else was making wedding dresses, and I was teaching myself the seam tape with the iron. It's pretty fun.
How was the level of excitement or focus when you guys found out you were going to be doing a mountain bike line and creating mountain bike gear?
You know, it expands our breadth of the market, right? And gets more customers into our gear, because we build a lot of things that can do many sports, right? So when we build really niche things for a mountain bike, we still want you to be able to use them for other things. But so it's exciting when we get behind that, because then, you know, you're building more stuff a little bit more specifically, rather than just like throwing on your rain jacket when you're going mountain biking. We've built something that has a bit more articulation and fit designed for when you're riding on a mountain bike. And so we take a lot of time thinking through that detail and what you need and don't need. And so we get excited when we get to add a new sport in and focus on something
very cool,
more specific.
Oh man, what's that sweet thing you're wearing?
Oh, this whole thing. Of course, no company visit would be complete without a little ride to check out the local trails and where the products are tested, developed, and used. So can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do for outdoor research?
Yeah, my name's Charlie Berg. I'm the outerwear product manager.
Now, what aspect of the technical apparel do you like and enjoy the most?
I mean, I'm pumped on the function and giving users like something that's going to go out and make them have a killer day. The team is very into features, fit, fabric, and finding like the right combination of all that, putting it together. And really it's like bringing the team together to make the rad stuff that gets people out there having fun.
Now, as far as fabrics go, there's not like an infinite list of fabrics, right? Or new ones coming online all the time. I could be totally wrong here, but when you're looking at a different jacket, right? Like a jacket like you're wearing here, how many different fabrics can you actually choose from that will accomplish the goals that that jacket does?
Actually, many.
Really?
And there's many variations. So there's so many fabrics out there, and it's really about picking the one that's going to give you all of the attributes that you need. And in terms of how many will satisfy all of those attributes at a really like kind of high level, like do it perfectly, there are relatively few, but you have to sift through the kind of multitude of options, work with the mills, work with the team to figure out what's going to work. It's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack a little bit.
Obviously, you are a rider and a mountain biker yourself, so how does it feel like knowing that you guys aren't just making winter stuff, but you're now making stuff for another hobby of yours?
Oh, it's super cool. We've had a ski business for a long time. We have a huge rain business.
Yeah.
We've been making all this stuff for people that are kind of doing those sports plus hiking.
Right.
And myself personally, I love to ski in the winter. You get to the warm months, which really it's a longer season. It's like, I want to go like ride my mountain bike. And we have so many customers that are like that.
Yeah.
And we've already been serving those customers really for their bike needs with products that are super versatile, but not like bike specific.
Right.
Like our helium rain jacket and other things are like classic like bike pieces. In Seattle, we have rad biking, we have bad weather, and we're like kind of good weather for biking too, good dirt.
Yeah.
So we're in a good spot to launch this.
Right.
And yeah, we know there's a desire for it. We know that we can like create cool stuff, and so yeah, it's great to get into that.
Awesome, man.
Get into that market.
Right on. Good. That little ride this morning.
Come on this way, we're gonna go check out materials. Obviously a really key component for outdoor research. I feel like especially comes to fruition in our bike line. We've been making this stuff for 40 years now. And when it comes to bike clothing, I think materials are so important and we already have that history. And I think that the fact that we do have that is leading us to create some pretty cool stuff.
How important are materials?
Unless you want to be naked on your bike in the woods, it seems like they're probably pretty important.
If you could, I guess, elevator pitch someone, what's the difference between good material and bad material? What would that be?
I would say that the major difference is that it does, what you need it to do without you noticing necessarily that you have it on, right? Like if you're looking for weather protection, then we want that to be relatively effortless and shedding rain, but keeping you comfortable. If you're looking for something that stretches, it should have just the right amount of stretch, not too much stretch, not enough. You don't want it to bag out on you, things like that. You just want it to sort of be part of your kit that's kind of effortless.
Are you really passionate and in love with materials, or are you just one of those guys that's like super like into detail?
I'll give you the answer, which is probably a bit of both. I think that materials are what really set apart solid ideas in terms of product development. So I've just been living and breathing this world for a long time, and it's just one of those things to me that we take pretty seriously here at Outdoor Research, right? Like we make good quality product.
Obviously, the evolution from OR making, skiing, hiking, etc., now going into bike. What are the importances of some of the other sports and materials you've used and how they apply to bike or how they don't apply to bike in some cases?
Again, our perspective in the raw material side of the creation of the mountain bike line was to try not to find a bunch of unique materials. We wanted to use some of the things that are favorites in our line, good performers, and are already proven multi-sport type fabrics. The Feroci fabric would be another really good one. Some of the materials used in our jersey came from some of our trail running products, so high exertion, a lot of quick dry times, good UPF protection. They lent themselves to this same pursuit so well that was like, well, why go out and create something unique? And I think that gave us that purview of, at least from a material standpoint, what makes us unique and different from some of the other players in the space already is that eye towards versatility, right? Like you get off your bike sometimes, you want to go grab a cup of coffee. Do you want to look like you just got off your bike? Sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't, right? And even if you don't, you certainly don't want to be wearing something that doesn't quite fit well when you're not in that position actually riding. So I think our collection from a material standpoint was about versatility.
Okay, all right, very cool. Well, thanks for the time, and
I appreciate it.
I could ask you a million questions and it's take way too long.
You know where to find us.
To nerd out onto this stuff, but.
appreciate you guys coming down. I'm glad you guys could see what we do here at OR. And I think the best thing to do would be to try the gear yourselves, and we want to know what you think.
All right, well, I think you wrangled up Charlie to be our tour guide and go hit some trails?
Yeah, there's no better person.
All right, well, time to go ride some Toka laps.
All right, Drew.
Later.